Hi, I've been experimenting to make a fuchsia from the petals in some of the Forever Flowerz. And I came up with this idea, which is about the nearest I can get. So this was one of the triple pieces out of the Hydrangea. And these are 3 petals from the Hydrangea flower. So there was an awful lot in there, so I could afford to play with them. So I've coloured 2 of the petals there, and this one I've put a little edge on the bottom petals because there's so many different types of fuchsias out there. Now what I've done is taken some stamens and I wrap around a piece of wire and fold them in half. So they need to be all different lengths to make it as realistic as possible. And I place that up through one of the normal centres, and it takes a bit of a tug to start it coming up through, but on the fuchsia you get one stamen that is usually a bit longer. So there we go. Leave that there for the moment, and then we're going to put on 2 of the hydrangea petals and push down. There we go. Make sure that they are off-centered. And then what I've done is I've taken one of the caps and I've just put a bit of colour on it with my felt tips. So I'm going to pull that down tight. Okay, there we have the bottom of the flower. This one won't show too much, but when we put this one on, the petals need to curl away from the flower. So we'll pop that on there. Go. So that is our fuchsia starting to build up. Right, then I've been trying various caps for the back. So I'm going to pull that one right tight down to keep that, and I'm just going to bend these back a little bit. Okay, so it separates the flower up a bit. There's my fuchsia coming on. Right, what I'm going to do now is this bit of wire is a bit redundant, so I can use that for another, because you can see that the stamens are coming out the top. So I'm now going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut reasonably close to that top. Okay, and I'm going to add one of these oat beads. Bring it up to the camera. So they're shaped, and that's going to form the back of the flower. So place that on there and hot glue the oat bead into place. Okay, so there we have the oat bead in there, and now I'm going to take one of these 3, oops, that's come off, one of these 3 stems, and I may have to trim it down, but I'm going to push that right in. Where's the other one? This one. Need a bit more hot glue to hot glue on the back of there. Right, so now I've got a bunch of 2 fuchsias and I got one more connector there. So we're just going to take this. We've got 2 dark petals. So I'm going to go 1, 2. I've coloured in one of the caps with a matching alcohol marker. So I'm going to pull that down, and that starts these petals coming down around there. So I now need, doesn't matter what order you do this in, but I'm now going to collect my stamens together. I can use the same bit of wire, fold it round, fold it in half, make sure I've got one that is a bit longer, and up through the centre hole. There, and pull the stamens in. Sometimes it needs a pair of pliers. So there is my next flower coming on. Next petal goes on with the petals curling backwards. There we go. So there's my next one. On goes my cap there. Push it down. That's starting the flower coming together. And you could just attach this if you wanted to. That's not going to come out, so I'm going to cut that off there. And I've got a darker bead here. So hot glue onto there. I've got a bit of glue sticking to my fingers. And I'd leave it a couple of minutes to dry, but here's our next one. Push that in, and there we have a bunch of fuchsias just made from the hydrangea elements. Okay, all we've done is added stamens and a little bead for the back just to make it realistic. Okay, so I took inspiration from that, and I hope you do. God bless.